study that was published yesterday by the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences that found that air pollution from farms leads to 17,900 deaths in the United States each year. And according to the study, which is notably the first major report to connect air pollution deaths to specific food items, the worst emitter is animal agriculture, which alone composes 80% of deaths from
absolutely, of course
pollution.
it is.
And researchers explain that there are two overarching kinds of pollution associated with manure and animal feed.
The waste, mostly.
That can drift hundreds of miles. The first is generated when farmers till or burn crops or when livestock kicks up dust. And the second, less prominent but more problematic pollutant is produced when emissions from farms combine with other gases in the atmosphere like ammonia, which is produced by manure and is incredibly toxic when combined with other pollutants like nitrogen and sulfur compounds. And those emissions add up to make animal agriculture the most deadly by far.
Yeah, absolutely. Our air is like mostly nitrogen,
which is absolutely huge because it means that these emissions now make up more annual deaths than pollution from coal power plants. But as places like the Washington Post note, while pollution from power plants, factories, and vehicles is restricted under the Clean Air Act, there is less regulation of air quality around farms. Right? And that is very, very notable because while many environmental scientists and advocates have praised this study as a key first...
The meat industry in America, I mean, like any actual vegetarian who's done their research will tell you, it's like, okay. So for a lot of them, it is a whole... I value these creatures. These creatures are fellow earthlings. They are companions of this planet. We should treat them with the same respect that we treat each other. And I see that viewpoint. I really do. And I wish, and I'm trying all the time to get a diet closer to that way of life because I do see that viewpoint. But a lot of them will tell you, moreover than that, it's the meat industry, the way they treat the animals, how many of the animals there are. They're like, we're overpopulated, so we've overpopulated several species for the sake of our food. The amount of waste that we produce in general with food, but when you start to account animal lives, it becomes really disgusting. The conditions at these farms and factories for the workers, and the animals, like the animals are not living quality lives. They're literally being abused, and in so many senses of the word. Fuck, it's so fucked. Plus, the towns that live near these animal farms suffer greatly from the product of having thousands of animals in an area very close that are all, you know, going to the bathroom, creating all this stuff, especially pig farms. Seriously, I don't want to gross anyone out, but do some fucking research on pig farms. And that literally has made me like almost stop. Like I literally almost never, if ever, eat pork. And one, it's because pigs are fucking brilliant creatures. They're amazingly smart. And why? Why are we eating something that's really smart? I know that's such a lame argument because we really shouldn't be eating any of them. But regardless, fucking, it's crazy. It would be different if we were eating them a natural way, but we're not. That's the problem. But yeah. Yeah, the meat industry is one of the most depressing things in this country.
Step to crafting regulations and laws, major meat industry leaders immediately condemned this step, arguing that it was based on faulty assumptions and claiming that they have not found significant air pollution problems. And while obviously, yes, that would be their response. It's the one that we expect. I think it's very important to note with this story that the meat industry has massive lobbying power, not only in Congress, but also among the public. Right? I mean, just look back, a few weeks ago, you had Fox News lying about Biden banning burgers. You have everyone flipping out on this thing that's not happening. So clearly, any kind of regulations are going to hit massive roadblocks. And while the study did find that farmers could cut their air pollution in half by changing certain practices, the biggest power in this situation is ultimately going to lie with consumers. Right? Even as the Post explains, if Americans switch to a flexitarian diet, getting at least half their calories from fruits and vegetables and limiting animal protein to just a few meals per week, air pollution mortality from agriculture would fall 60%.
And there it is.
And if I was a gambling man,
And there it is. If we embraced our omnivorous nature more, it would be better. And if we ate meat a similar way that we used to, it would be better for us. Also, any vegetarian will tell you, meat is hard to process. Like, there are people out there who are always in pain or like have a hard time like digestive wise, and they just eat meat constantly, which is hard to break down. Yeah, you ever talk to a vegetarian or a pescatarian or a vegan and ask them what it's like when they try just a little bit of meat? Their body freaks the fuck out. And it's not because like, it's gotten bad. It's because meat's hard to break down. And when you've given your body a break, it has to go into fucking overdrive just to like get it done. That's fucked. And that not only speaks to what it like how hard it is to actually break down meat, and the fact that we are omnivores, not carnivores. We are not built specifically to break this down. We are built to be able to, but not specifically to. That is a difference. But also, it speaks to like probably the processing of our foods and the way we do things. Cause like no fucking, I can't even, the amount of people in America who are eating fresh meat, very few. I can't even come up with a number, but it's low. It's extremely low. We're all eating processed meat. And to some extent that's probably healthier than the alternative, but nothing is healthier than fresh. Anything, you know, fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, fresh meat, fresh water, fresh fucking whatever. Like, it's always better fresh.
I'd put more money on, it just has to be a societal change over time. I mean, we're even seeing big business investing more and more money with the understanding that they think that more people are going to go to meat alternatives. But I share that while also not coming for your burgers. Then, in the battle against COVID-19 news, we have the FDA now officially authorizing the Pfizer COVID vaccine for adolescents 12 to 15 years old yesterday. With FDA officials saying in a news briefing following the announcement that the decision was clear and straightforward because clinical trials showed the vaccine was safe for the group and that the